I almost walked out of there with nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I didn't pick up anything. I did grab this today. Check this out, because Tim
Tim
Sale
Sale,
passed
yeah,
away.
yeah.
So, but this is I've never seen this cover. Daggum Reflections. Um, it's a wizard thing. So I gotta get maybe the reflections better now. It's out of the bag. But it's
Oh,
gorgeous.
nice. Yeah.
It's not worth anything. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous book. Um, I never seen that, because all I have ever heard of Tim Sale is blue
Blue.
and
Yeah.
gray and
Yeah.
yellow, and was it white? And then he, of course, the two awesome Batman runs that they did.
Yeah.
So, but oh yeah, I had we're going live right now. So just so you
Oh,
know.
welcome. Welcome, everyone, to the Rambling Show.
So it's always fun to do that. Did you never know when I'm gonna hit record? You're just sorry
I,
expect it.
I'm just here for along for the ride.
Uh, guys, welcome. This is our comic talking sketches. No viewers right now. Hopefully, we'll get a few as the show progresses. It is a beautiful Thursday night, and we're going to talk some books. Talk about some of the new books this past week. Were there any worth picking up? Joe said he hit the shop. Did you actually get any?
I did. I got the Agent of World thing.
How does that look inside?
It's awesome.
Is it? I
Uh,
was.
I should have brought it out. Very Jeff Darrow inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Very weird. Very hard boiled inspired. I would say.
Okay.
Storytelling's fine. When the writer gave him like a splash page or like a page with not a whole lot of panels,
Yeah.
he knocks it out of the park. They're awesome. Some of the storytelling kind of gets in the way of the artwork, I feel like. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to pick up the others.
Does it make you want to pick up his Batman issue they did, or the Deathstroke that came out last week?
I mean, maybe not for a cover.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, but you like story and.
I do. I mean, if I see them, I'll probably pick them up for cheap.
But
if
I think
run over them.
that Deathstroke one is one of the few books that sort of not took off. It's one of those when there's only like 20 of them out there total. It's
right.
They don't really take off. It's just one of those where you're lucky enough to buy one when it was available.
Yeah. And then I grabbed Pearl #2 of this newest run. You know, sticking with my voice. So
I think I grabbed the original Pearl #1. I haven't picked it up today on the cheap, but
nice.
Yeah, no, I have not. Like I keep saying, I have books in my box. I just haven't been by to pick them up. Just haven't had the summer schedule is always different.
Yeah, your summer schedule is very different than your regular schedule.
So I can't make my trips around the city drive on that side of town. So
yeah,
but it's only for a little while longer. But yeah, so let's jump in and look at the books. We were talking as we were talking about them. It's just like for some people this is the most amazing week ever. For us, well, there's actually a lot of indie books we're interested in, but whether or not we continue picking them up because now it's in issue 3 and 4. Does the story hold enough, or is it now wait for the trade?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go. There's enough. You know, I'm hitting like at least 4 or 5 books.
Yeah,
that I want to pick up because we got Philadelphia, we got this new Batman thing, many Saga. Like there's stuff you've got to get. So.
Oh yeah, I mean this new Batman. Of course, we're both excited because we love this. I say his name.
Zdarksky.
Zdarksky. I'm thinking you say it. Chip Zdarksky's run on the Dark Knight, or Batman Knight story, and we loved his Daredevil.
Yeah, man, you got me into that Daredevil, and you were so right. It's so good.
And the Devil's Reign was good, and then he's still continuing on in that. So I think Daredevil comes out next week or the week after this one.
Yeah.
So
I think so.
Batman one week, Daredevil the next week. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
So
cool.
But there are so many covers.
A million covers. A lot of them are very good.
It's you pick your artist now, and the guys are store exclusives as well. We don't highlight store exclusives here or try not to.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at this is I mean, you have Jim Lee, you have Delato, you have, of course, Jimenez doing his, who does the interiors as well. You have Ann Huck Lee, you have Matina doing Catwoman. I actually sort of dig this cover.
Yeah.
Then you have the black and white one for 25 of the reg, and you have, of course, Jock. Then you have Alex Garner doing his, which I mean, Garner's hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
But I
This one's
really like
great.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. This one's
And
great.
then this one for 250, this Zdarksky does a little bit of art. He's very much about that 2D sort of symbol. Like all of his covers that he does have that feel.
Yeah,
And then
he
there
likes
is
that negative space too, which is good.
and there is a black and white of the Jim Lee. That's I think
cool.
a 1 for 500 or something like that.
Dang.
So yeah, pick your poison. I mean,
Yeah.
you might this might actually be, if depending on how heavy a store goes, you might be able to get a 1 for 50 of Jock for less than $50 just because stores might have gone heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
So who knows? But this is a good Jock cover, so it's hard to.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But yeah, so from everything about the story, I mean, I think Williamson wrapped up most of the stuff, but there's little bits wrapped up that he has to do, and then supposedly a new character might get fully announced. I'm not sure how much announced, called Failsafe. And there's actually a cover that has like Failsafe written across it that might, but it wasn't the final image, so I was like, I can't pull it because I don't quite know if that's the right image.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna jump back on board. I like Chip. I like his writing. It'll be He'll be playing the long game. I don't know how long his run is set for. I haven't heard any numbers.
I think if they can find someone that's like whoever, as long as he wants to. I mean, that's the way Tom King got to do it, is almost as long as he wanted to, or until people got mad over the wedding.
Yeah. No, Tom King was set to do 112 issues or 107 issues. Somebody in the chat will tell us how many it was.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, we've had way too much backlash.
And then didn't he wrap it up in the Catwoman thing?
Yeah. Which I've read none of.
Yeah.
Because I'll buy it cheap later.
Yeah.
We'll see it in some secondhand place.
Yeah. Or if nothing else, a trade.
Yeah. So, and I like Clay Mann. I think it'll probably be good. It's one of those things.
Yeah. So Batman 125. I'll actually probably pick up cover A because I actually like cover A. It's simple enough. We've definitely learned. You buy the art you like, but if you actually want any sort of spec value, the cover A plus the incentives are the way to go. So,
for sure.
Speaking of a book that I will maybe never read, Dark Crisis #2. I don't know. It's supposedly like for everything is all the old heroes are gone for like the 100th time, and now the new heroes are. So you have John Kent and you have the new Wonder Woman and all those different ones and everything. But I know in issue 3 they've shown an image of Red Canary. So maybe this Red Canary character, whoever it is, maybe premieres in this book. I mean, who knows?
Oh, cool. I get you.
So it might be worth it. At least I do like. I think we both agree we like the 1 for 25.
Yeah, it's bold.
Yeah, of course it reminds me of Warhol.
Yeah,
but I like it. It'd make a great T-shirt.
Yeah, for sure. Any of them, you take just one off of that too, and they'd be good.
Yeah. So, no, it's the other two covers. Yeah, they're okay. I've gotten to the point now where I'm not a giant Perillo fan. Like, there's some Perillo stuff I like, but I just don't do the. I mean, I know he's talented. It's not my style.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And then you have Poison Ivy 2. I don't know if I ever will pick up any of these issues.
No.
But they're fun covers. We of course love Christian Ward.
Yeah.
So you got to show his cover, in which, since he focuses on red so often, it's nice to see green being the primary thing. Though that last cover we had we're showing here a little bit, it's all blue. So
yeah. Yeah, he's everywhere right now, man.
Yeah.
I guess we're not the only ones who like his stuff.
I think I don't know if his Kickstarter ended, but it was a graphic novel he did that was out too.
Yeah, it looks good.
The Frisson, you can of course get the regular cover, and there's also a 1 for 100 foil that you can grab. Frisson is hit or miss because she's just everywhere. So knowing exactly which cover is the one that's going to take off, this is a cover look that I think I've seen 3 or 4 different times by her. So I don't know how much value, unless you're just a diehard Frisson person. This is the one that I just don't know. Did you read the solicitation?
Yeah, but a week ago.
Yeah, there's so many weird covers. And that's sort of why Starhenge book 1, The Dragon and the Boar.
Yeah.
Liam Sharp.
And writing and drawing, Liam
I
Sharp.
think so. Yeah.
So I'm gonna definitely give it a whirl.
Yeah. He did what's he illustrated? That Brave and the Bold a few years ago.
He's
It
done
was
a
with
lot of
Swamp Thing.
he's done a lot of good stuff.
The Green Lantern. He did one of the Green Lantern runs here recently.
Yeah.
But
he has a Batman mini series somewhere too. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, that Christian Ward is my favorite one though, the blue one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Christian Ward green, Christian Ward blue. Yeah, I love all these covers. They're just sort of, because of how, especially when you put them side by side.
Yeah.
It gives you no clue.
If it was just the A and B cover, I would be like, oh, cool, I'm definitely into this. And then you see the football player and death and then the deer man, and you're like, wait, what am I looking at? Because this just got
True Detective?
really weird. So, yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then just, guys, we're already at the covers we like. There was no series that I was like, we got to show all the covers. Now, there might be some that we're completely missing, and that's just, hey, we choose what we like. As it's a Batman heavy week for us, not just 125. Batman 89 is back. If you're reading the series, it is so frustrating trying to keep up with some of these Batman one-offs because they don't come out regularly. And so it's like, okay, when did this one come out? This is a Julian Tedesco cover. It's a 1 for 25.
Whom we really like.
Yes, we do really like. I think I actually bought a Superman book strictly because he did the cover. He did that little Action Comics run.
Oh yeah, they're great. Did you find one for cheap?
Yeah, I found it for cheap. So
nice.
Someone's like, I have no problem buying Superman when it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah.
And I got to show you.
Yeah, but when it's $4 or $5.
Yeah, that one I'm not sure if you can see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we talked about that one.
That's one of my faves that he did in that run. But so I found it cheap, so I was excited. Ben Oliver.
That whole run is really great.
Oh yeah.
Did I read any of those books? No.
Then we got the Ben Oliver cover, just freaking scary, awesome penguin.
Yeah.
I mean,
man,
it's great. It's 1 for 25. Ben Oliver's one of those guys that I don't know why his stuff is not worth more than it is. But this is one of those covers that you grab, you hold on to, because I don't think stores buy 25 copies of Batman Killing Time.
Right.
I mean, are you reading that one?
No.
So
they have had some great covers.
Yeah, they have. And then this Joker Volume 2, number 15, incentive. You got Vengeance and Bane and his daughter on the cover. This is the last issue of this arc of Joker. Tinian's not coming back to. I think the only thing he'll have at DC now is Nicest House on the Lake. So this is the last issue of this run, and then they might continue on with the series, but it's going to be a different team. So I think
good. I might pick it up. Ouch, that's me.
Speaking of series no one pays attention to, but evidently you've been reading.
Yeah, it's great.
Suicide Squad Blaze.
I don't buy Suicide Squad stuff, but I'm a big Aaron Campbell fan.
Yeah, who doesn't get enough credit at all.
No. Some really interesting, and he makes really interesting choices. It's a pretty well-written book. It feels very cinematic. Colors are great. It's one of the better Black Label things that's come out recently that I've read.
And this is that entire the Suicide Squad. They're gonna die if they don't do something.
Yeah, and every time one of them dies, they all get power. They basically power up from that.
Yeah.
Squad, so they're in this like weird limbo of like not wanting their friends to die, but also it's okay if they die. So yeah, it's a pretty fun premise. I've enjoyed it.
Nice. Twig, for all the hate that we gave Twig number 1. I mean, then I had a lot of people get mad at my hate on Twig number 1. The covers have been great for 2 and 3, and I'm waiting to read them all. I did this for a lot of Scotty Young. Like I wait till I read You Promised Me Darkness. I think that's the name of it. No, the
That's Damien Connolly.
yeah, the other Darkness book.
Yeah.
The Darkness You See or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I read that when it was done. It's great. I read Middle West, 6 issues at a time. Great series.
Yeah.
Like his stuff is good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good writer. He understands the Middle West, man. That first issue is a masterpiece. Like the first arc is fine, but that first issue, it's like the pilot to like prove that this is going to be amazing, and he did it.
Well, that's why that book took off when it first came out. Now it died down. You can get it for cover price now, but it was just such a good series to start off with, and then like everything indie, they die out.
It kind of has like a God Country feel to me, where it's like, oh man, this premise is great, this start is great, and it stays good, but nobody keeps talking about it. Maybe my favorite Donny Cates thing, actually.
The thing that put Cates on the map.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. And then Tosin's back.
Supposedly, from an article came out today, Comic Book Resources or whatever, the preview says that this is an issue dedicated to Tosin. He has to save some diplomat or something like that. So they're giving him sort of this arc, and he might be replacing Black Panther. They're building them out. So all of you that are panicking, it might be okay to hold on to a couple of your Black Panther issues.
Did they tank?
Oh, they reached ridiculous, unrealistic heights. So, like when it was hitting for a cover A, hitting 120 after 2 weeks, that's just nuts. For the variant, the one for 25 was hitting 300 and 400.
What was the numbers on the second print? Do you remember?
Second print you can get for $5 now. So
they made a lot of them. In other words,
oh yeah, they made it. Every store bought a ton of them. It was at least on the bright side, it was like original art. It wasn't great art, but it was original art.
Yeah. Well, cool.
So,
I'm kind of interested in that. I kind of want to read it.
Yeah, Black Panther. There's certain arcs, but I don't read it all the way through. Like I pick different arcs up and I read different little stories.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've always done Black Panther too.
Ghost Rider. We both like this Peach Momoko. The Peach actually has 2 or 3 books that are not bad, but Joe, why do we like this book?
Well, I like.
Give me the artist's opinion.
The composition's really good. It moves your eyes around really great. There's some weird perspective stuff going on, so that's cool. But I mean, anytime we got flaming skulls, we're gonna like it.
There you go.
Like Ghost Rider is probably the easiest thing to get a male of any age to go, oh, because we instantly see a skull, we're hooked, and then you put it on fire and we're like, oh, that's like our 2 favorite things in the world. So great. There's actually all the covers for this series have been really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to pump a Ghost Rider book strictly because it's Ghost Rider, but it's at the same time there's so many also because we like skulls, we like fire. Yeah. I mean, so you end up wanting to buy them.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that Donny Cates, Back to Donny, the Cosmic Ghost Rider. I thought that was a great play on the world.
That was sort of the they overdid it. Like the first arc was fine, and they're like, really?
Yeah.
The Thanos stuff was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, but when they're like, oh, we've got a winner on our hands, let's put him everywhere. I was like, oh, oversaturation. Yeah.
So you get with this Hulk. This is just the 1 for 20. This is the second print, 1 for 25 variant. There's also a Thor second print, 1 for 25. This is the Banner War the Thor Hulk Banner of War. It is Banner of War, where they fight across their arc or whatever. Haven't read any of it. Couldn't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, me neither.
I do sort of like the sketch.
Yeah, I think we said the same thing about the last Gary Frank sketch thing. His line work's just really nice. Yeah. It's like so controlled, but also he keeps it energetic. That's hard to do, and it really shows. They really show it off, and that kudos to the art department for saying yes, this is what we want to do.
Yeah,
and I mean he's probably ecstatic, but yeah, It's really hard to read without the color,
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, what am I looking at? But when you get in close, like it's a gift. It just keeps giving. So
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
like that's so nice to have it like on a big TV right here behind the computer. So I'm like, "Ooh, that's a lot of detailed line work that he did."
Yeah,
Oh,
he's nuts.
and then switching to a full headshot here. This is Strange Academy number 18. This is the end of the first series. Whether or not Scotty Young comes back to write. Speaking of Scotty Young, comes back to write the next arc of this, but this is Strange Academy's, I think, ending, and they want to continue on. It's a successful series, but
Right.
and this is the Howie character that took off, which had controversial first appearances. Like, what issue did it happen in? And one app says it's one place, and then everyone else says it's another place.
Hmm.
So
Did you
it's
read? Have you read any of this? I haven't read any of it.
read the first issue. I have not read anymore. I've picked up most of them. It's one of those like I just waiting to. I do the Marvel app, so like I'm waiting for to get to where it's like 10 issues in, and then I can read it
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Um,
that's smart.
uh, Guys, there are a ton of indie books this week that are not. They're books we like. They're not really like any spec value whatsoever. We're reading, we just sort of like them as well, except for the closet. Whether or not we're excited about the closet,
Yeah,
I
I
did
didn't.
want to show off the artist because we love the artist and we don't think he gets enough
Yeah,
press. Michael Walsh.
yeah, I like Michael Walsh a lot.
He Joe, you turned me on to him with the Zero. Alex Cott wrote it, I think,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, he did. Maybe he might have just done that one issue that just
yeah,
blew me away.
yeah, I think you're right. Like, did it was Guy and Gatos did one too.
Yeah, and it's also amazing. Uh, I love that series. It's so smart. Like
Mm,
to to dole out the work to all of these amazing artists. And so once you get like as a writer, once you get one guy who's amazing to say yes,
yeah,
then it's easy. Then you're like, oh, well, Michael Walsh is doing the first issue, and then I've got Gatos doing issue 8, and then like they'll just fall into place
yeah.
because everybody wants to jump on. Uh, I like his work a lot. It's pretty simple,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but he does great shadow stuff, and that's what I mean. That's how I love to draw. So
Well,
I
that's
really like it.
yeah, he does, and that's the thing. Like why I like this cover. It's
Yeah,
very simple. He's using 3 or 4 colors, and just yeah, it's fun. And then of course, you've gotten hooked into firepower. Have you?
man, you got me looking at it for some reason, and I really like Chris
Mm,
Samney, uh, from that Daredevil run that he
yeah,
did. That was
so
maybe
Mark,
that was
is that Mark Wade and
yeah,
him?
yeah, I think it is. This is maybe the first time I ever kind of remember looking at his stuff. But then I even read those Black Widows
Yeah.
because man, the action in those Black Widows are amazing. Um, and this hits all the right spots for me. Like it's a good. So I got there late, but I I ordered every trade like the same day. After I read the preview or the prelude or whatever,
Yeah.
because and I was like, oh man, that was really great. It's like what you hope Iron Fist would be.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the artwork's awesome, and now this arc is just so great because it's just all of the old senseis that he like trained under before he got to the firepower place,
Yeah.
coming back to help them fight. Man, they don't get along. They're all really old. Like that's like perfect for me.
Well, and there's also like every one of these issues now has 4 covers. Like it used to only be 1 cover, so
Yeah,
it's tough. I think one of them is a set of connecting covers.
yeah,
Finch is doing headshot covers.
yeah, yeah. I always buy the Samney.
Yeah,
I
I
stay
sort of like
loyal.
the Kim Jong.
Yeah,
It's always fun,
I
but
love his work. Like he draws so fast and so well, but I don't own a single book that he's done interiors in.
mm,
And I don't know if he just doesn't want to do that because it feels limiting to him,
yeah,
uh, or what. But man, if somebody good could convince him, hey, let's do a big important book together.
yeah,
Like, oh my gosh, like if Kirkman went to him and said, hey, I got this idea, you're the only one who could do it. I mean, it would be like going to Jeff Darrow and saying, hey, you want to do this? But of course, Jeff Darrow was going to say no because Jeff Darrow was writing his own stuff. But man, it would be so good.
yeah.
I didn't even see this.
Yeah, this is
This cover B.
It's great. And then of course, yeah, for Philadelphia, I mean, you pretty much pick these up all the time when they come out.
Yeah.
But you try to get the black and white, right?
I've been trying to get the black and white. I've missed it the last couple weeks, the last 2 times. But then also, I found a couple that I've bought. I bought the noir black and white, and then I found the color for cheap for $1 somewhere. So I like got them out and was looking at them next to each other. It was really interesting.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, of course, the cover A is always good, but I like the fact they pulled different random artists to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I dig this cover as well. I need to sit down and read the series because it fascinates me because it's like werewolves and vampires and the way we know the American history is not the American history we know.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's not my cup of tea per se, but you know, neither was Spawn, and Jason Sean Alexander got me reading Spawn. So
yeah,
he's so dynamic on the page that I'll pretty much read anything that he draws. So, and Rodney Barnes is a good storyteller. Like this. I'm enjoying this way more than the Spawn run that he was
on. More indie books, Little Monsters. This cover, I mean, of course, I'm a sucker for white.
You just keep putting all this stuff up here, and I'm just like, that's another $4. That's another $4. That's another thing. Oh, this is $2.99.
I don't buy Mark Miller books when they come out because you can always there's always so many of them. But this is a sync cover that you might not find. It's a tiger.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that if I see it in a heartbeat. And I like what's his name, who's doing the interiors too. So that's
Buffakany.
Yeah, that guy. Buffakany.
Buffakany.
And Little Monsters has remained great.
Is it still sticking to the black and white with just a little bit of color?
Yeah. I don't expect that'll change. I don't know how long this is going to be. I would guess he's probably got it mapped out to about 12 issues, just by the way that he's kind of pacing things.
So it's moving faster than Descender did.
I don't think it's as big. Oh. Descender was like world hopping there for no, this seems to be pretty contained, but it may jump, but it's really slow. Like not much happens the first 3 issues.
Man, you're selling me on this book right now.
But it's really nice. Like it feels very cinematic. I mean, that's what I want to read. I want to read stuff that feels like when I'm done reading it that I'm like, oh, I just watched a movie. The dialogue was good. The pacing was good. So yeah, I'll probably pick up all 3 of those books. Dang it.
Well, Saga's just it's always $2.99. So it's like
yeah. At least Brian K. Vaughan to the rescue. Did you see Paper Girls trailer images?
I didn't see that. I saw the initial one. I haven't seen anything recent.
Oh, they dropped a little like 30-second teaser.
Yeah, I saw that. That was good.
It looks good. The colors are awesome. They're Cliff Chang covers. I mean, they're Matt Wilson colors. So I was like, oh, I can't believe they pulled off that pink sky.
Yeah.
Dang it. There's another book. Shoot.
So I got a chance to read Absolution. I think actually you can go to the website. I think they even have it to where you can read it now.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's fun. It is a fun story. It's worth picking up issue 1. I mean, just the concept behind it of an assassin who is live streaming everything, and it's all about how she has to earn credits for. So it's all about how many likes she gets as she's assassinating someone.
So Mike Dodano Jr. He's been the like workhorse for AWA. I don't know if he and Axel Alonso are like best friends, but it sure does seem like it.
Yeah. It's a good read. It's worth definitely reading.
I even read Bad Mother.
Saying that's one of the few I haven't. I read about half of them.
It was fine. It feels like a movie, and again, that's kind of what you want. So,
and I told you about this, or I tweeted about it or whatever.
Yeah. Where did you find that?
It was one random store I went to had it. They just gotten it in. It was no one told them about it. Here, I'll throw it up real fast. Lesser Evils. It's a trade paperback with 4 separate books in it. It's all written by, and drawn by the same people. Ian Grody, Justin Fair. Justin Fair's like, I guess, directed it, and then Yashin Lee did the art on it inside. And there's 4 different books, or actually 2 different books, or 3 different books, and then one of them you get issue 1 and 2 in it. But it's an exclusive. It was made for Tribeca Film Festival. But every store, the store I was at had like 3 or 4 copies. They were selling for $15-$20 online. They sold to me for $5.
Nice.
But what was even more cool is like I tweeted or Instagrammed about it, and then the artist or the writer, we chatted on the side and everything.
Nice.
Like it was sort of cool. But the Ian Grody's a director. He's done like 1, maybe 2 shows, so he's not like a big time or anything. But it's sort of cool when they're like, okay, I'm gonna try this. All 3 are stories you've heard before. They're first one, Emmett, is your classic Golem story, just a modern twist. The second one, Jinn, is about genies, but it's about a genie who's been released, but it has ties to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and then also, which I sort of love that concept. And then
it sounds like there are about 799 million genies too few for me.
Did you hear the news about that one though?
No.
8 million, whatever that genie book, which issue 2 comes out this week, or with this, got optioned. And it's already optioned, not just optioned. It has an entire like media Funko merchandising plan for Amazon. Wow. So that issue, as bad as the entire book sounded and as terrible as all those covers looked, it's optioned. I mean, that's
insane.
So,
but again, given the right people, you can make anything good.
Yeah, I mean, it's Charles Soule, so
yeah, and that's a big deal, I guess. You read Astronaut Down 1, right?
I did. I read issue 1. I read that and Where Starships Go to Die, same day. I like Astronaut Down a lot better. Cool. Both of them are great artistically. Astronauts Down, I want to see where it goes. So like, and that's always what you ask for in an indie book is, right. Do you want to read issue 2? Do you want to see what happens?
And this is Aftershock.
Mm-hmm. It's Aftershock. James Patrick and Rubine is drawing it.
Oh yeah, he's good. So I didn't know that's who it is. Cool.
And then this is a Jock cover. That's the only main reason I'm throwing it up there. It's, you know more than I do about this.
I don't know. I mean, I know that Jock is listed as doing work on this book, but it's also Martin, whatever his name is, Sean Martinborough or whatever, who's also good. He's kind of Phil Hestry, He did a bunch of Batman stuff in like the early 2000s. So that's how I know he is. So I may look at this at least and see what Jock is doing. Because if there's like a tag team where Jock is doing like a small portion of the story, like, dang it, I'll buy that too. Shoot. So I guess that's a prequel to another thing that came out earlier. Okay. So
this is sort of fun. I'd heard, or Matt Kent had listed, he's basically gotten his own label underneath Dark Horse called Flex House. So he's getting to do his own stuff and whatever. Here's sort of the solicitation written up about it, but like there's an A and a B, and I think this is a C cover, but the C cover is bagged, and inside the bag is a playing card because Mind MGMT had a playing card like Kickstarter type, or a card game like Magic or something. So you get a card for the game, I guess, and they're supposedly playable. So it's not just a trading card; you can actually play it. So I don't know how popular the game is or how many people like it. It's one of those Kickstarted well, but if you're smart enough to make a board game, they make bank on Kickstarter.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you're charging $30-$40 a pop no matter what for those board games. But yeah, I'm curious. I'll check it out. I never read this one. Did you ever read Mind in MGMT?
I did not, but I think every one of these issues that's coming out has a different artist on it.
Okay.
So watch the artists because some of them will be awesome, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, just reading this little thing, like recruiting old agents to come back. I mean, I'm like, man, I really need to. Matt Kent's style can sometimes be frustrating.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really good. It's the same thing when Jeff Lemire draws. You're like, oh, I like your storytelling better than your drawing sometimes.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Like Berserker was better with Ron Garney doing it than it would have been if Kent had done it.
Yeah, 1000%. But Ron Garney is amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything beyond that first couple issues of that.
Well, and this maybe I'm not thinking of the right thing. I feel like this is. And I told you this before. It starts with issue 12 and counts down.
Right. Yeah, you did say that.
So I'm curious. I can't remember. So I could be wrong, and someone please correct me or tell me in the comments afterwards. Whatever. But I'm curious. I mean, like he did Department H with Jeff Lemire. They did that together, and so I'm gonna check this out. I
think it's also interesting that everyone else seems to be like bailing from the big houses, and he probably was like, oh, everybody else is bailing, I'm going to use that as leverage to get in here, which is really smart.
Yeah.
Like
well, and some of these guys have, like Scott Snyder struck that deal with IDW to do their thing, and then Jeff Lemire's, he's figured out the game. Like he's leaving but not leaving. Like him and Sorrentino is doing the entire horror series. It's under Image, but it's not.
Yeah.
They dip their toes in a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that, The Passageway. I read it the other day. It's good. The artwork really elevates the story because the story there's not much there.
Yeah.
It feels like The Lighthouse. Did you see The Lighthouse, the movie?
No.
Oh, it's a crazy movie. But it definitely feels like that. So I was like, oh man, I kind of sort of already watched this movie. But the artwork is great. So.
All right, let's jump in and look at a few incentives. This is the Once and Future one for 25. It's just because I collect them all, I'll probably pick it up. It's not one that strikes me right away. But the more I look at it, I'm like, it has more of an artistic value than some of the other ones who have been shiny.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's one that's going to be a hot spec flipper type one. This doesn't have that feel to it.
How long do you think this series will go?
It's a weird series because everyone that reads it doesn't know why no one likes it. But then no one reads it.
Yeah. I need to read it. I haven't read any of it yet.
But it's also Dan Mora, which, I mean, the more you see of his stuff, you're like, okay, his lines are clean, he's nice and tight, he's perfect for interiors, and he's, I don't know, like the one, yeah, I like the series. Now, I haven't read the last 4 issues or whatever. I bought them, I just haven't read them yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of, I mean, Basilisk, I don't even know if someone, here we go. See, I got some more confirmation. Someone else, if I can get my mouse to move the right direction. See, Comic You Crazy's with me. He loves it.
Nice.
I think I tell people about that series at all times. But yeah, so it's a great series. Basilisk, I haven't read it. I've only read the first issue of it, and then I'm sort of surprised. Like, this is an issue that very seldom do I see it one for 25 people or 25 copies at the store.
Right.
But I'd actually do like the Christian Ward variant first. Okay, the Sook variant's not bad either. Both the Sook variant's really messed up. I probably should have grabbed it to show off. Mm-hmm. I think there's a one per store as well. Did you look at There's Something Wrong with Patrick Todd?
Yeah, it had me going, what am I reading?
Yeah, the covers are even like, I'm not quite sure. But yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to definitely look at it on the shelf.
There were so many DC books. It like for DC, you hadn't been having a lot of books. There's a ton this time. The DC versus Vampires, showing it just semi-sexy cover, but it's this Lyrix Lee who's slowly getting to do some of these incentive variants. So she might be one of those, like, in 5 years, people going, man, I wish I picked these books up. I'm trying to look. Yeah, we talked about most of them. The Monkey Prince, I think there might actually be a first appearance or a sidekick appearance or something in there, or sidekick. So it might be worth grabbing. I'm not going to. I'm trying really hard not to pick up books just based off first appearances. I will buy them for $1 later on, but I'm not going to chase them.
Yeah.
If I miss out, I miss out on making a buck. Last few incentives. I always love it when Keen Spot has an incentive, just because no one ever knows Keen Spot exists. As a series, they have really weird books, and I don't know what this Bonnier, the Aromatic #2 looks like. I couldn't even find an image of the incentive. And then, have you ever heard of the artist Hirano Piochio?
Nope.
And then you get Scout and Black Caravan both have some books coming out that have incentives. A lot of times it depends on your store if they ever get them, but you can also usually go to the Scout website and buy them as soon as Wednesday hits. You can pick up the incentive from them if you'd rather wait. Do it there if you're really sold on them, which I think they just had last week had a book get optioned, something
cool.
Western, some Western book they did. I have it around here someplace. I just don't know where it is. So that's always a bad thing with indie books. If you don't know where it is when it can't, like I was able to sell. Did you see our hotel? That got optioned.
No.
AWA. It got optioned.
Yeah. Cool.
I found my copies of that and sold those as quick as I could.
Nice. Good job. Because they'll go down next week.
Oh, yeah.
Are you reading this new Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6?
I read the first 3. I have not read whatever issue we're on now, or the. So yeah, it's okay. It's really hard to get past JR stuff.
JR, yeah.
But yeah, it's. I mean, I'll usually give Spider-Man, but I missed out on. I got burned out because Nick Spencer's run was 3 times a month. I can't do that. It's so hard to stay. I like to chunk them, but I like to chunk them and know that in a month I get 1 issue. Not every month I get 3 issues.
Yeah, that's a lot of issues. It's a lot of dough.
But it is. I mean, it's a little interesting with that. So, but guys, thank you for watching. Those of you that hung around, thanks for stopping by. Comics You Crazy. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope we told you some things you didn't know. Hope there's books that you're going to chase. Joe and I will hit the shop. We will probably try to find something we like. And we hopefully will catch you next week. Next week we might not be live. Just because vacation, July 4th, all that type of stuff. We're going to figure out sort of how we're going to approach next week. It might be a premiere thing. So, but We'll catch you next time. See you guys.